Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Duke CT, back with you once again here live on the Duke CT Lounge. Thank you so much for being here and sticking with me, Duke CT, here. Uh well, it's been a very long week. It's been a very long week in this very strange month. Everything has been strange and all wacky and everything else. So let's talk about some things. Let's sit there and start talking about this big news. And people didn't really want to talk about this thing. I mean, there's some people who do, and there's other stuff to talk about, but you know, you know, and everything else. Hmm. Anyway, let's see. This is us right here. This story here. Dozens of W contracts is starting in 2024. Talent yet to be approached about new deals. And roster shake could be on the way next year. According to Fightful Select, numerous WWE talents, including several top stars, have deals expiring in 2024, but they have yet to be approached by the company about contract extensions. Most of the talent with signs expiring deals believe the competition, the completion of the WWE UFC merger will kickstart contract talks, but negotiations have yet to begun. Talent has been speculating what the lack of approaches could mean for future talks, and if their next deals will see increase or decrease in pay compared to the contracts before the merger. WWE had negotiations with some talents, but has typically been with wrestlers who have approached the company about receiving a raise. WWE signed dozens of talents to new deals in 2019 following the formation of All Elite Wrestling at the beginning of the year. One talent who has contract expiring is Drew McIntyre. The two-time WWE champion deal is believed to be up in April, and the two sides are said to be still far apart in money. And this and people are like shocked by this. People are shocked by all of this. I'm not, because if you go back, you can go, you know, go back a couple of. Let me just look here. Let's see if I can get the thing here. Ah, here we are. Uh, sorry. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if I can go on. See, this is because I see a lot of old stuff here. Let's see here. All right. Here we are. The antitrust trial for next year. It looks like it's going to be this huge story. And let's see. Exit. Okay, let me share this thing here. Because this was one of the biggest stories around UFC and its fighters. You know, the main draw of its most the people here. Anyway, here it is. After taking 5.5 years to resolve class certification, the judge in the UFC antitrust lawsuit revealed he intends to turn on the afterburners going forward. At a Monday afternoon status conference, U.S. District Judge Richard Bolware of Las Vegas, Nevada, informed representatives of the UFC and the player fighters that he's giving priority to the case going forward and wants to hold a trial in March or April of next year. For the case has been essentially been a holding pattern for years, it all of a sudden has an exceptionally aggressive schedule going forward. Should the UFC be unsuccessful in its appeal efforts, the promotion will file its petition to appeal Boulware's classification order on Wednesday. Plaintiffs will have 10 days to reply, and then the U.S. Court appeals for the Ninth Circuit will have 90 days to decide if it accepts the UFC's petition. I haven't heard any about that yet. Just see. We're gonna look. We haven't said anything about that yet, so. Uh, Let's see. I'm looking for it. What's going on? I'm looking. See here. Let's see. And this will be the exactly all the stuff is gonna be unsealed. Yeah. Hmm. This looks like it's going to be this is again, they're still trying to appeal this. So yeah, right now they're still looking for appeals, but said during the conference it seemed that Ebola was going to pause all case proceedings until after the Ninth Circuit I decided either accept or reject the position, but by the end it was clear both cases will move forward until the appeals court hands down a firm decision. There are two antitrust cases currently filed against the UFC. The first is known as Le et al. Covers purported UFC anti-competitive conduct from December 2010 through June 2017. The second is Johnson et al. Covers essentially the same conduct, but from July 2017 to the present. Lai will try next year. Belwar told participants in Kung Lee sat in the gallery listening. I want to put this case on a fast track for trial. When asked how long the anticipated trial will last, both sides agreed it would take roughly 4 to 5 weeks. The moment was a breach of fresh air, as one of the first, a few times the two sides agreed on anything on this almost 9-year-old case. On the moment that created auto gas in the courtroom, Baldwin informed the participants that all court records previously subject to protective order will be unsealed. It will be the entire case, he said, but they won't be unsealed immediately, as each side has until October 31st to present their version of the court record with only limited redactions for fighter health information, phone numbers, and email addresses. So, like a couple of days from now. Another notable moments, plaintiffs revealed that when the time comes to discuss injunctive release, they'll ask Boulware to eliminate what they believe are restrictive UFC contract clauses, or pare them back substantially. These are the terms for fighter promote agreements involving contract lengths, trolling positions, retirement, and the champions clause that the plaintiff claims serve as artificial barriers to entry, helping to foreclose rival MMA promoters. For the Johnson case, plaintiff says they'll seek to vacate terms added to the more recent UFC fighter contracts, opposing arbitration for disputes and restricting participation in class action lawsuits. If the fighters are contractually prohibited from participating in the Johnson class action, it won't be much of a case. Outside the trial date, the big news is that both Johnson and Lee will be starting to moving forward again. For Johnson, a case that has been paused pending Broward's case class certification and the UFC's inevitable appeal, the sides are presented to discovery plans by September 19th. For Lee, the UFC motions to reopen discovery and for summary judgment are due October 24th, a couple days ago. So yeah, the time early deadlines and the same days, but particular UFC wanted to update discovery on third party stuff and it goes going. But what is clear, the UFC antitrust case. And what is the UFC antitrust update is let's see if I can move this here. The UFC stuff is, I believe, it basically because if you right here is the contracts, like they feel like they weren't paid. I'm just if I can find the thing here. Hold on, I'm gonna just share this thing here and go back and right here. I'm just look here. share this type of hit. It says, and right here, the reason why this is right here. It says UFC pays its fighters only 20% of its event revenues when boxing and other major sports pay well above 50%. That Eric Kramer of the Berger Morgue, who is the lead attorney, was in the class. UFC lawyer William Isaacson of Paul Wiss and Reichkind, Wilson, and Garrison said due for plan to challenge the certification in order to appeal. The UFC has denied any antitrust violation. This is one step in a long legal process. Legal is legally and factually meritless, but I doubt that. It says the UFC has touted what it called a healthy, competitive MMA market with benefit athletes, promoters alike. Please. They've been basically a de facto monopoly, and I think that's one of the main issues is that they haven't the fighters haven't paid well, and they have been shafted. And when I look back to this, you're like, oh, what does this connect to WWE? Well, what does this connect to? What does it connect to? Is because UFC doesn't pay its talent well. They pay on a very low end, and then with this merger, with this new TKO stuff, which has been doing a little bit rough, but I think they're gonna be back on its feet, so it's no big deal. Unless it is gonna be a big deal, but I'm like no, they'll probably be fine. If this because way WWE handles contracts, unless you're a really really special person, you're not going to get that big paycheck. In fact, even if they do, they might release you and get you on a cheaper deal. I mean, yeah, Braun Strowman had a huge contract and then he got released. I mean, you look at people who can drive merch and everything. I mean, the late, great Bray Wyatt. He drew merch. He did everything that company told him to do while being bullied by Vince McMahon. He did everything right by that company. And at the end of the day, they still released him back in 2020. They did 2021. They actually just sat back and released him. That's what I feel like what's happening with WWE and all these other places is that they just released. They did not do anything. They did not have its best way of doing it. They didn't. It breaks my heart to see people who are like who really do work hard, like a Drew McIntyre and Becky Lynch and other Becky Lynch. You have supposedly Sheamus. All these people who help WWE. All these people who help WWE out, and now they're just like, well, it is what it is. I mean, that's what we have right now. It is what it is. I mean, and I hate that. And if that's what I'm thinking is going to be, the worst, I feel like what's the worst case scenario for WWE people is that they're gonna get a lot of, the same type of stuff. They're gonna be like, okay, we'll give you this like a certain percentage, and just like throw in a lot of big numbers out there. They're gonna throw a ton of big numbers and all the money, this, that, and the third. But what's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think is going to happen when they're going to be paid significantly less? And then with all the stuff's happening, you got the MW, the National Wrestling Alliance, the NWA, Billy Corgan is trying to start the territories again. Good luck with that, but hey, it might work. AEW, regardless of what you feel about what they're doing, they're signing people. Young Bucks and Elite got a huge deal. Roosh got a brand new deal. All these people getting big money. Impact, they're gonna, let me just go back here. Let me see. let's see. There was going to be some. Let me see. Because I said there's going to be more money put into it. There's like more money put into it. I mean, just not only that, they called it they're bringing back TNA, and they're putting much um putting a lot of money. I think Anthem Sports Entertainment are probably are building stuff here. They're building stuff up to it. They're building and doing all this stuff here to really make a footprint, because now with TNA they're back and they're doing some stuff too. So I wouldn't. They're trying to finalize rosters and such. And I'm like, if WWE is just going to be like, well, the best we can do is like, here's a contract. I honestly would not be surprised. This is what's going to happen. I put money on. If someone put a bet on me, bet. You know where to find me. I would not be surprised that the NXT contracts they have now, that's going to be the ones going forward. The NXT contract deals, that's what they get. Maybe a little like 5% on merch deals, but the NXT deals that all the people on NXT have, that's gonna be the new look for anyone in WWE or for right now in the future. Unless you're like, unless you are unless you're Cody Rhodes, unless you are Roman Reigns and all this stuff here, it means nothing. It means nothing, ladies and gentlemen. It means nothing until it means nothing. Oh, like yeah, your stuff means nothing, so you can't really do anything. You know, what do you? I mean, what do you do? How do you build? I mean, what can you actually start? Contracts and everything else when they just say, "Oh, we'll give you a little bit of exposure." This, that. No, they're going to be cheap. They are going to be real cheap, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's going to be in the future. That's what's going to be in the future. That's what's going to happen. You're going to have a lot of cheap content and a lot of cheap these cheap contracts. And if the UFC wins their lawsuit, it's going to be cheaper. And if they don't, I mean, that's going to hit them even worse. So I don't think anyone's going to be signed to a big deal. All they're going to have, I mean, I would love if they win this thing, if the UFC fighters win and they actually get their pay, they get their actual due with their money. I truly believe that would be the best for everybody. Everybody. It would be great. And hopefully WWE will say actually pay their workers, you know, actually pay their goddamn workers. The reason why people wanted to go to the arenas and such. It's not that, not random person who works in the office stuff. It's the people, the wrestlers who should not just be getting paid, but also get like the actual. Here's a better thing: make them full employees. All right, make them full employees. Take the loss of actually, and healthcare and health insurance. I mean, I wish maybe America can actually do something with its healthcare, but that's a bridge too far, and that would probably piss some people off. But I'm just it goes right back to saying that this the selfish culture, the selfish you know screw you, I got mine culture we have, and if you have that type of screw you, got mine culture, well, you're not going to really get much change done. And I hope that the strikes, which by the way, looks like they might have more positive. The actor strike might be, coming to the end soon, hopefully. And if they get what they want, they can actually just pay the people what they deserve, and we can all move on instead of doing this like BS stuff. I truly believe we can actually start building people, start watching Getting people, not just the big actors, but also the little actors, the actors and actresses, and the writers who are trying to get their stuff in, who are trying to do the right, who are trying to do right, trying to get their, not only ideas, but also having a living rage to actually be able not to be so, that, it's nice, the starving artist, but that's not actually how things should be. That the starving artist should not be starving. And in fact, in some cases, these corporations take advantage of starving artists and let them keep starving. The whole Squid Game situation. The man who made it didn't make any money off it. Man, who's still not making any money, even though the whole and Netflix missing the point and making a goddamn reality TV show of it, and even then, I'm like that to me is insane to me. But hey, that's what we are right now. That's what we are. The selfishness, ladies and gentlemen. I hate it. I really do, and I just hope that these the situations, they start paying them. Or this is just a nothing burger. They'll do it like, well, don't worry about it. By next year, we'll talk. But I say this, you know, the best time to plant a tree is, the old saying is, what the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second time to do it now. So I suggest WE should sign these contracts, or have Sheamus, Drew Galloway, in the G1, and you can have Becky Lynch, Rebecca Quinn, aka Rebecca Quinn, having a tearing it up with Mercedes Moné and Julia and Stardom, or whatever, or in everything else. So maybe they can start do their own. Maybe they'll do a women's version of the G1. Imagine that, a women's version of the G1. Come on, let's do it. That would make things even more of an excitement. Come on, people. Let's do it. Who doesn't want to see that? Anyway, that will be the future of WWE. Just basically just like says, best we can do is 350, and they just leave and get the bag somewhere else, which they should. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this topic. The next up is something even more stupider and more incompetent of corporations. Is Netflix still trying to get into the world of gaming? And I ask why? Because they're just, well, at this point, they're idiots at this point. But then again, I'll give my full thoughts on this after the break here, live on the Duke CT Lounge. Thank you so much for enjoying me, Duke CT. We'll be right back right after this. Okay. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is me, Dukect. Want to make sure everything is on point and everything. So, how are you doing? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling blessed. And just want to make sure that everyone likes to sit back and relax on this Thursday evening. Anyway, Netflix is getting still trying it so hard to get into gaming and says aims to crawl, walk, and run when it comes to video games. It's still crawling. Yeah, the Netflix is still trying. They do good stuff. Netflix, yeah, it's been nearly 2 years since they first announced the foray into gaming. And they've had like from 24 games to 77 games. Not a bad roster, as you say, someone there. But the problem is, no one has cared. In fact, let me just put this on another article here. The New York Post, you know how much percentage of actually people are doing this? Right here is only 1% of Netflix subscribers use this. Yeah, over 250% of million subscribers. 99% of them are missing out on this major perk. Recent years, Netflix has breached out into the video game industry. They have, number of gaming studios, and the most it actually has. It is, but the games featured is little used. With a report from CNBC revealing just 2.2 million Netflix subscribers, about 0.88%, less than one, play the games, one of the streamer games daily. That is, in a word, horrible. And it says that's all part of the plan, according to the Netflix. Yes, have a audience, build up a platform that is so basically. In fact, I guarantee you, me talking about this, you're like, wait, I don't know about this. Yeah, no one cares. And this it says from co-CEO Greg Peters said this trajectory is not dissimilar from what we've seen before. We've launched new reasons, or when we launch new genres like unscripted, we have to crawl, walk, run. But we see a tremendous amount of opportunity to build a long-term center of entertainment. Netflix pushing the gaming is it's part of a larger effort to plant seeds for future revenue streams to offset a potential saturated subscriber environment. Others include sports and retail. Which the early, because streaming is not getting into the money, folks. Streaming is basically on its way out. I keep telling you, streaming is on the way out. It's on the way out. It's leaving. On the next. Oh, it's leaving. Oh yeah, it's gone away. It's gone, man. It's GONE. Got the clue remain. It's gone. It's gone. Hmm. But yeah, they're trying to find some new stuff here. The potential revenue streams Netflix throws out there, more things they can hang on their hat on during this earnings call. And in the future, when password sharing has run its course and they are not adding new subscribers. Netflix announced they're taking gaming seriously, running out titles as standalone apps for mobile phones. It's deficits that the games are strategies to keep the subscribers engaged in between seasons of their favorite shows such as Stranger Things, which has been adapted into 2 games, which I guarantee you, probably like a majority of their audience don't even care for. Yeah, they tried. Look at this. They brought in some big things. Micah Verdu as the former EA Mobiles Gaming. You had Joseph Staten, who was the creative chief for Microsoft Halo Infinite game, which could be a good or bad thing if I, talk to people I don't care for Halo, but a lot of people just like they think it's pretty much mid, but who knows? Maybe I be people who are Halo Infinite people are just like they're all in on this. They love the direction. Announced he was joining as the creative director for a brand new AAA Battlefield multi-platform game and original IP. Giving existing subscribers to download and play mobile games is a challenge. Though Mans noted, more than 3/4 of the streaming service subscriptions are utilized on a television screen. According to data released last year from video analytics from Corneva, this presents an obstacle for Netflix in marketing in a mobile game library to existing subscribers, but since customers don't tend to use Netflix on their phones. As of September last month of this year, Netflix games have downloaded 70.5 million times globally, according to data obtained from Apptopia. And that's where an average of 2.2 million users play one or more Netflix games per day. Even as Netflix added new games just about every month, according to Apptopia, the average daily users peaked at 2.7 million in January 2023, but dipped below 2 million between March and July, hitting a bottom of 1.5 million average daily users in March. Those numbers implied that less than 1% of Netflix over 240 million subscribers play the game on a daily basis, even as its game library just tripled in its offering last year. Other mobile gaming publishers far outpaced Netflix in downloads. Since the inception of Netflix's first game offering, Garden Scrapers publishers Playrix had $531 million. Candy Crush Maker King had 438 million downloads, and Clash of Clans owner Supercell had 388 million downloads, according to Apptopia. With interest lacking in this mobile game, Netflix has been testing new games that could be played on any device. Netflix Vice President of Games Mike Verdu said in the August post the beta rollout limited users in Canada and the UK offer Oxenfree from Night School Studio, a Netflix game studio, and Mohu Mining Adventure, a gem mining arcade game. Games played on TV will require players use mobile phones as a controller. Oh gosh, it's Mika all over again. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. At least and probably the games would be a lot better anyway. Yeah. Mm. But yeah, you know, but yeah, you see the but yeah, there's TV require players to use mobile phones, controllers, it, accessible to the Netflix app on Android and a separate controller specific app on iOS. Peter said earlier this year that gaming was following a trajectory that we have seen before with new content categories, where we sort of build into this over a multi-year period, but refrain from divulging specific data points. Mention of any gaming developments was noticeably absent from the company's second quarter earnings conference call earlier this year, raising suspicion that Nexus may be gearing up to abandon its efforts. But that's not the case. The Wall Street Journal reported last week ahead of the Netflix third quarter earnings spot, the company plans to adapt more of its big game series, such as Wednesday, Black Mirror, and Squid Game, into mobile games. The streaming giant is also looking into releasing an iteration of Grand Theft Auto through a licensing deal. Then gaming came up briefly in a Netflix pre-recorded third earnings conference call where Peters said the game's engagement currently drives core business metrics in a way which is incremental to movies and series. Netflix attempts to root gamers also faces technological hurdles. I don't think that playing mobile games on the bigger screen is something I would be bullish on, said Sonny Dillon, founder of VC firm Knight, which focuses on gaming and tech advisors. Well, if you're a Kyber, that with that name, right, you pretty much have to be something with gaming. Uh, the bandwidth that servers are being used are inherently handicapping the gamer, Dylan said. I don't think that we're in a place where streaming multiplayer hardcore games can be played successfully simply because of the lags. But Netflix is not looking to be a console replacement. Nexus Gaming executive Voodoo previously told TechCrunch. It's a completely different business model. The hope is over time that it just becomes the very natural way to play games wherever you are. Oh gosh, Stadia! Wherever you are, Stadia will basically right there. Yeah, we've seen the story before. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Netflix is doing a Stadia. And are mixing up with the Amico. I've been watching all the television Amico stuff, which is, crazy. Gosh. Next up, they're gonna be probably sign up with Tommy Tallarico and just like say, screw it, well, make some games and everything. That'd be just hilarious. But anyway, like, subscribe, and share all this, by the way. But yeah, I think it's pointless. Majority of people, when they think Netflix, they think of what do they think about, ladies and gentlemen? They think of movies. They think of TV shows. They think of, maybe now reality shows, and there's reality shows there. You know, there's so much stuff you could talk about on Netflix, different genres, and all this other stuff, but it's still on the TV show. But at the end of the day, well, gaming is just not going to be important. I don't think gaming is going to be um hmm, you know I think that's what's going to happen is that people want that they're going to try to push this really hard, but most people, like they said, it's just not really they're not going to they haven't really connected with it. They haven't really been connecting with this, and it's a shame that they have they haven't really they were the front runners of the streaming, and now they're trying to find any way to get out of it. They're trying to find any way to get out of the nightmare that is streaming. So I expect them to basically, they're going to be like, oh wow, yeah, they're trying to get into anything. They're trying to get into sports. They're going to try to get into retail. They're going to try to get into cable. They're going to try to get into anything to keep them afloat. And I would not be surprised, ladies and gentlemen. I would not be surprised if they said, you know what? We are going to be doing something. We're going to go to gaming, or they're going to do anything just to basically survive for another day. That's it. I could be wrong. I want to hear what your thoughts in comment section below when I split the video off, or you can do it right here live here. But anyway, that is the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, listening to me, Duke CT. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.